welcome to LoFi Bedtime Very Tales. I don't like that. Hello, welcome to LoFi Bedtime Very Tales. I don't like that one. Hello, welcome to LoFi Bedtime Very Tales. In this episode, I present to you a story about a boy nicknamed Nee and a girl named Tee. Oh, how their minds wonder and wander well. However, their minds do this for different reasons and achieve significantly different outcomes or resulting emotional conclusions. Seems like I could or should have said that differently. Anywhatever, some helping happens and everyone is pleased in the end of the story. However, I still encourage you to listen to the whole thing and to always do things today to make tomorrow better. And here is the story that is titled Nee and Tee, or Tee and Nee, or N and T, or T and N, or How to Stop Worrying and Let Your Imagination Make Life More Fun and Less Not Fun. Declan Andrew Nelson was born into a loving and seriously silly family. His family, that being him, Mom, Pop, and sister Sky, was filled with creative characters so much that for his 4th birthday, the theme for turning 4 was for everyone to wear blue-colored clothing, since the word blue has 4 letters in it. His present was a multicolored spotted puppy. Take a guess what everyone wore on his 3rd birthday. You don't really have to guess because I will gladly tell you. Obviously red. R-E-D, red. Not purple, as they will wear lavender on his 8th birthday instead. Colors. Oh, how they love colors. Periwinkle will be such a glorious 10th birthday. Perhaps there will be pepper pizza too. So it goes without singing that Declan Andrew Nelson went by Nee, N-E-E, as that is short for Danny, which is short for Dan, which are his initials. His parents started calling him by his initials at 5 months. Wait. I almost forgot about his dog. 4th birthday present. That was once a puppy and will always be a puppy at heart. The dog's name is Papa, which is kind of humorous as his father's nickname was Peppy, since his father's first name was Salvatore, which is long for salt, which is short for salt and pepper, which can be shortened to S&P or just pepper, or plainly Peppy. Enough names and colors and other happenings that may not be central to this here story. Nee was in the 2nd grade, and guess what, Buttercup? He had a difficult time not fantasizing about things that may be related to other things or things that are not related to anything at all. If someone were to mention a flower, perhaps a simple, perfect daisy, Nee may then think about honey, since bees like pollen, which comes from flowers, which is then used to make the honey that bees make. Or Nee may instead start drifting in his brain about laundry, as flowers rhymes with showers, and showers can be taken in the bathroom or can be rain showers, and the latter make the dry earth turn into mud. If there is too much of them, showers and mud will, oh yes, it will, get on and stain, rhymes with rain, your clothes, and you will have to do laundry to get your clothes clean or kinda close to clean. Mud can be mean, but that's a whole other story about the temperament of mud. One more thing, though. The word mud just sounds like not fun, but I would never state that to be true. Just because someone has a name that means that they are truly no fun does not make it 100% true that they are no fun, though. I mean, we are not supposed to judge books by covers, so we shouldn't define people or other sorts of beings by the names they were given. Nee's mind would wander, or dance, or flutter, or whatever when he was in class and expected to be paying attention in order to learn so he could be more prepared and helpful for himself and others. That is what learning is all about, you know. At least that is what my mind told me to say, and I assert that it is all accurate. Nee would get into minor trouble at times for not being able to provide an answer such as the Amazon River, or Egypt, or obviously platypus, when his mind was somewhere else. He simply liked to let his magnificent mind daydream away, but this would be an issue when he needed to pay attention. Nee could keep focused when he wanted to and relished learning in the way that people delight in having whipped cream on their sundaes, or salsa on their nachos, or basil on their ravioli. Am I getting hungry? Perhaps. Are you getting hungry? Anywhatever. Do you daydream too? It is a wonderful thing to do at the right time, in the right way. Nee always went to a positive and fun place when he daydreamed. Now Tee, on the other foot, or hand, if you write that way, was quite the opposite. Tee was actually her name. No one liked golf in her family, or the hot or cold or tooth-cracking sweet beverage that is enjoyed all around the world. Some parts of Earth called tea chai, and that is another story too. Tee did have a cat named Barney who wished that he was named Larry, but he could not tell anyone this, but he would tell any other cat that he encountered, and that was a rarity, so only Penny and Tamale knew. Penny and Tamale were Tee's Nana's kitties who would come and stay a spell or so whenever her Nana had the urge to travel and visit her people across the area. Penny and Tamale were pleased with their names and declared to Barney that he needed to be more focused on other concerns such as getting on some primo catnip and tuna tenders. Barney was able to score these items at times and would picture himself to be flying in a helicopter or helicatter that hovered over dogs as he shamelessly teased them. The helicopter was yellow, and he envisioned it would be grand if his catchphrase to the canines was, "You can't scary Larry." Barney had a fairly vivid imagination too. Bummer that it did not rub off on Tee in the way as she rubbed him under his chin every day. Tee considered so many pronounced possibilities too that it would be a wonder to be in her brain. The marvelously maladaptive issue was that Tee cognitively conceived countless concerns or sad scenarios that may happen or may never happen. There was a time when she saw an airplane flying tens of thousands of feet or meters in the troposphere. Most people may ponder as to what destination the plane may be headed to or from and how splendid it would be to be on vacation or simply being on an airplane. Tee, for some unhelpful reason, began to anxiously fixate about what may happen with the plane if it were to run out of gas or food or bathroom tissue or even have an engine failure, whereby an emergency landing was in the future for the travelers and their lives would never be the same again. Were there enough parachutes? Did the parachutes have enough of a variety of colors to satisfy everyone? Did the people who packed the parachutes truly pay attention that day, or did they just put in dirty pillowcases in place of the parachutes? And are those pillows now cold because they don't have any clothes on? When will the worrying end? Was Barney a nickname that was short for Barnacle? And who really thinks that the Tooth Fairy flosses anyway? So, we have two students in the same class who let their minds speculate and ramble and race, but not to compete or anything. This is not the tortoise and the hare, I wouldn't dare. Two thoughts that may not be too helpful. One gets zany and goofy while the other gets worried and panicked. I'd rather be zany and goofy than worried, but I have been around for some time now and can appreciate that nonsensicality can generate and germinate good stuff, and that this may exacerbate some folks, but not others. Like how some people like sweet while others like cold. Naturally, I am referring to the colors of the rainbow, or as I like to call it, the color glow, for the colors of the rainbow glow and radiate positivity. And for those of you keeping score at home, neither Nee nor Tee's ability to learn was being severely impacted or limited by their imaginations. Not yet. So the teacher of the classroom, Mr. Spectacle, yes, that was really his name, and he did not wear eyeglasses. His first name was Alistair, and he loathed it in the way that a dog loathes being leashed. So he went by A. If one were to announce, "I am looking for a spectacle," he would reply with an impish grin, "That's me." Oh, what a teacher. Good thing that he chose to be a teacher instead of a professional dart player, because then he would have had to have grown a manicured mustache or something that involved green socks. Or is that my rule about being a professional dart player? Perhaps. Perhaps I should refer to my handbook on living. Mr. Spectacle knew in his mind that these two celebrated students could learn a thing or two from one another. Well, maybe Tee more from Nee. So he, that being Mr. Spectacle, and not the person who operated the last roller coaster you rode, determined that he may attempt to persuade Nee to have a proper and prosperous parley with Tee about how it may be more delightful to let her mind wander to a playful place than to a contingency of catastrophes. What a teacher! Will someone please get that man a chocolate chip cupcake with more flavorful frosting than there is snow on Mount Everest? I encourage you to get two, one for Mr. Spectacle and one for you. I am good, thank you very much. I had a hearty breakfast. I would take another cup of coffee, though, black as the licorice flavor that I savor. Licorice dance song.
The only licorice is black. The other stuff is not good. The only licorice is black.
And that's a fact.
The other stuff is not good. The only licorice is black. The other stuff's colored sugar.
So, Mr. Spectacle and Nee spoke, and this next dialogue somewhat summarizes what was communicated. Mr. S. Well, hello there, Nee. How are you today? Nee.
I'm feeling pretty good today, thank you. How about you, Mr. S?
Mr. S.
I'm a bit tired. I stayed up late playing tiddlywinks on my virtual reality headset.
Nee.
That sounds fun. Why didn't you play it with someone? Sorry, I didn't mean to be nosy.
Mr. S. It's okay, Nee. Well, I'm getting off track, and we have a quiz to get to. Nee.
A quiz! Yay! I have been studying all the time.
Mr. S. Well, bully for you. Crack on with it then. However, briefly, would you like to do Tee a favor? Nee.
Yes, I would. I like Tee. I think she is funny, but she does not know that.
Now, I could go on and on with the rest of their convo, but I shall not. I do have the ability to demonstrate restraint. Nee volunteered to speak with Tee and teach her how to guide her worrying mind towards more positive and amusing outcomes whenever she was anxious or nervous about something that ultimately did not matter at that moment or possibly ever. For example, like if it were to be raining next month, or if she was not able to get that marinara stain out of her favorite top, or if she would grow to be 12 feet tall at the age of 43. The sorts of things that did not matter in the moment. Nee initiated the conversation and used the example of Tee agonizing over something that was not relevant, such as were her socks wearing out the same way around her toes. The simple act of Nee mentioning this actually got Tee activated to speculate about that. Nee recognized the difference in her body language and then encouraged her to take that thought and transfer it to something else in her incredible brain. He suggested she imagine a pink balloon that was filled with creamy, not crunchy, peanut butter and visualize if it would ascend into the air or not. Of course it would not, because it was not filled with helium, and does anything rhyme with helium? I mean, come on, something has to rhyme well with helium other than kinda chromium. And why is the periodic table of elements made out of squares and not circles? Nee then made some jokes, and Tee did too. Nee told her that he knew she was funny, and then they had a good old goof-off. This is when you let your creativity dart or sprint or zoom from one place to the next, and so on to the outer limits of your imagination. You can only go out 6 places, though, and everyone wins. Tee pretty much ruled this one, not beginner's luck. As she started with her French vanilla white sandal that went to her toothpaste tasting like orange juice, which went to her mom's makeup drying out like the desert, which went to an astronaut named Mandy looking at the Sahara Desert from a rocket in space that she wanted to name Candy, short for Candace, but no one would take a rocket serious if it were named Candy. Wait, didn't I mention that we can't judge someone or something by it's their name? Nee asked her to dream up something silly anytime she frantically fabricated something that was not so serious, that was almost always connected to scary, nervous, or unpleasant imaginings, which become feelings, which become behaviors. You know, the more you worry, the better you worry. It took a couple weeks and dozens of efforts every day with successive and maintained improvement, but Tee developed her new skill and harnessed it and implemented it like a boss. She did not define herself as one who was engaging in nincompoopery or buffoonery either, which is so rad. Oh, Nee aced that quiz, as did Tee, as did Gary, as did Aaron, and Lucy missed one question. And she was able to forgive herself for that. Oh, that Lucy had such good inner dialogue. You know, the way you speak to yourself, how you coach or criticize yourself. We have to be true blue to ourselves. If we mess something up royally, we must tell our Highness, Majesty, or whatever that we made a mistake, we will make more, and we will learn from every one. We cannot get trapped in the spiderweb of sorrow and not manifest unhelpful estimations without reaching out for help. We have to aspire to not let negative, unnecessary contemplations remain and fester to flourish in our minds, for they will bring us down. And always do our best and be as kind to ourselves as we are to the people that we care about. Life can actually be that simple. Just ask Lucy. Do you know Lucy? You should. Ask her if she has any more of that watermelon-flavored sour gum. I am flush out of it, and my mouth tastes as exciting as listening to an ice cube sing. And I wish the best for you.